Welcome to NZV8TV. If you're a fan of the show, you'll love the 50th edition of NZV8 magazine on sale now. This week we feature our first car powered by the aluminium Rover V8, the pride of British for over 35 years, but it started life as something else. Do you know what?
Brought to you by Smiths Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. Newlong, Maguire's, Spies Hecker, House of Colour, and GT Radials, superior performance, affordable price.
It's a Rover engine, Jim, but not as we know it. It's Carl Hansen's TVR Tuscan. We had to keep him on, so Ewan gets an assignment that suits his personality, slow and low. We love our muscle cars here, and this is Shane Johnson's 65 Mustang. And lighting it up at the Aussie Winternats, 8,000 horsepower, yeah baby. If you've been watching recent episodes of NZV8TV, which of course you should have been, you'll notice what big fans we are of the new racing class GT1. Virtually no rules, massively fast cars, and most of them powered by wicked V8s. But after showing you all the Corvettes, Falcons, Commodores, and Jaguars, we thought it was only fair to show you the car that they were all built to beat. For many years now, the benchmark in New Zealand GT racing, this is a car that is an absolute triumph of New Zealand race engineering. A car that fascinates me every time I see it at the track, and a car I desperately, desperately love to drive. It's the giant-killing, Rover-powered TVR Tuscan of Carl Hansen.
The TVR Tuscan, originally built in the UK. They raced them in a series, Modern Mark series, what we'd term as unmodified compared to what we've got. We imported it in '95. It was a '92 car. We rebuilt it, repowered it with our own engine, our own Rover engine, which they were running at that stage. And in the UK, they repowered them with their own engines a year later, actually. But we carried on with the Rover because it's had a lot more potential for modification and more power. So that's why we bought the car. We've increased the capacity to 351 cubic inch, so 5.8 litre, which is reasonably big for a Rover. They come out, considering the 3.5 or 3.5 litre standard, so or 3.9 some of them went to, so all alloy heads, block, everything, yeah. Well, it's running Motec fuel injection, Motec dash, all the Motec. It's fully Motec. It's got every bell and whistle. Nearly every bell and whistle. There's some new cars out at the moment that have got a few more gadgets, but it's pretty loaded with technology. Right through to tyre temp, shock movement. Potentiometers on the shocks. All sorts of stuff. Running a Hollinger 6-speed sequential, like a V8 supercar. When they've only gone to the sequential boxes, I think maybe this season or last season. 13.5 inch on the rear, and I think they're 12s on the front. So they're reasonably wide, and they're a Simmons brand. Pocky, we've done a 55.4 in race, not in qualifying. So it's fair humming, yeah. We came from Super GT. The GT1 series is it's a really good series. There's all the three other classes mixed, or two other classes, sorry, all mixed in. Some really good competition, in particular, coming through now too. There's some stiff competition there, believe me.
GT1 championship winning car, and I'm really looking forward to seeing him take on the new Chester's Commodore next year. Please, Mr. Hansen, can I have a go in your car?
To celebrate the 50th issue of NZV8 magazine, we've got a $12,000 trip for four to the Gold Coast Nitro Super GP. Return flights, 5 nights at the fabulous Palazzo Versace Gold Coast, grandstand seats, pit shirts, caps, and a Jim Beam Racing Team pit tour. To enter the draw, you'll need to buy NZV8 magazine's 50th issue and text V8 to 244 to find out more.
Hey, Sid, your rider's local.
Don't forget it, here's Ewan.
Well, I like my lowriders, as you can tell, and of course I got my one at the warehouse. If you want to get a top quality lowrider, you've got to get something like this one here, 1964 Chev, proudly owned by Andrew. G'day, Andrew.
Ewan.
Now, it is a beautiful piece of machinery here. You bought this overseas, didn't you?
Yeah, we bought it in Los Angeles about 4 years ago.
And was it a pimped out gangster ride when you got it?
No, it was pretty straight. Well, it was a lot missing, but it was the same colour and the interior is pretty much the same. But the what you see now is what I've pretty much done to it.
you must have a few things in particular that you're really, really proud of on this car. We'll have a walk around it. You guys come with us. We'll have a walk around it and you point some stuff out that you're pretty proud of, bro.
Obviously the pinstriping by a guy called Scotty Bear, who's up in Puhoi, north of Auckland, and gold leafing. He's pretty much the man for that kind of idea. He's pinstriped all of our club vehicles. He's done quite a lot of them actually. My favourite part on the car is probably this guy, which means Super Sport, which is, I don't know, it just makes it more rare and more special. It's got a few options that the others don't have. Inside the boot here is why it's called Ghetto Blaster, this car. It's the best lowrider in the country.
And are you gangsters?
Oh, back in the old days, I'm sure there's a lot of gangsters involvement, but it's all about being, sort of a bit radical and a bit different, I guess. But no, we're all more car lovers. Lowrider culture, Mexican culture, which I'm obsessed with. Just the margaritas, the food, the music, the country.
Tell us about the power plant.
It's the original numbers matching 327 V8. And the same transmission as well, which is great. That was part of my shopping list, that I really wanted to have a rebuilt and original drivetrain. Pretty much the rest of it's stock, which has just been chromed or painted.
Yeah, go on, play us something Mexican. Well, here we are at the back end of the car. Now, this is hydraulics. A lot of people, when they're looking at cars that are going up and down like that, they're talking about airbags, aren't they? So this is a totally different puppy.
Yeah, I think airbags, I don't know enough about airbags, but they seem a lot more, the cars that are lowered or, sort of adjustable suspension are usually airbags, yeah. The only people really that are playing with hydraulics are our club in New Zealand, as far as I know. The more batteries that run it, the faster it'll go. There's minimum riding heights. You're not allowed to play with them while it's driving. It's a kind of a sort of a stop. There has to be stop motions on, if you can't use them while you're driving. It's called ese, which is ese. What's up, ese? It's a Spanish slang, Mexican slang for bro, mate, pal. We're just obsessed with these mid-60s Chevs, This year, the 60, 61, 64 kind of years are the most popular and are a bit more for the classic orientated, whereas the guys who want a bit of pimp flavour or a bit of gangster flavour, they go for the newer kind of Cadillacs.
Am I allowed to join your club with my lowrider, or is it not old enough?
Well, two things are wrong. No, three things are wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
There's airbags.
Yeah.
There's Australian cars, and it's a Ford.
Right.
No Fords, no Australian cars, no airbags. Sorry.
So anyway, that's the end of the interview with our Andrew. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Next week we'll be going along to the Airbag Club of New Zealand. Well, we love our V8s on NZV8TV, and whether you're into race, drag, show and shine, you name it, whether you like lowriders or not, you've got to admit that this is a shining example of cool.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. We like how you roll.
That Impala, she's hotter than Juanita's quesadillas.